with prolific fictional writer EFTHALIA, who published One Wolf Next Door of the Willow Witch Chronicles last year. Welcome to A Conversation, EFTHALIA.
Thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
How important was your Greek upbringing in your decision to become an author and to focus on ancient Greek myths and storylines running through your own novels?
Well, Mum used to tell me a lot of stories when I was little, and in the oral traditional way, because, you know, she didn't have that education, so it was all what she knew from memory. And I loved listening to those, and they were great escapes. So I think that they added to my wanting to write.
Wow, all the way back there.
All the way back then.
Okay, so, and what inspired you to write the EFTHALIA series?
I was reading a lot of paranormal romance, and a lot of authors were using Greek mythology in their storylines. And I thought, oh, hey, I could do this. So, boom, I did that, and I wrote my first book, Syndesmos.
And that led to?
That led to book 2, book 3. It was going to be a 10-book series. It probably still will be a 10-book series, but the first 3 books are connected.
Like a trilogy?
Yes, pretty much, and it's using one Greek myth, which I use as a nexus, and the plot, and it overreaches into those 3 books.
Can you give us a slight synopsis, like a summary? What's the EFTHALIA series about?
Okay, a bunch of immortals protecting humankind. So you do get vampires, you do get werewolves, you get witches, but you also get the Greek gods.
Okay, and who's your favourite Greek god?
I'd have to say Ares, because he's the most misunderstood. And he's really highlighted in this series.
Misunderstood Ares.
Misunderstood and most hated.
Okay, well that's something to get us interested.
Trying to redeem him. He's not as bad as everyone thinks.
Okay, that's very, very fascinating. Very, very.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm very curious too now. So for the EFTHALIA series, your work has been characterised as retelling Greek myths with a modern day twist. How important was it to contemporise Greek myths in, novels such as yours, and how did you go about modernising these myths?
Okay, a few questions. See, it was very, very, very important because you're reaching a wider audience, and sometimes you're reaching audiences, of course, they're non-Greeks, so you wanted to put enough in your books to, at the same time, pull them in, teach them something, and expose a lot of that Greek culture to a wider audience.
Well, and also a younger audience too is important too, isn't it?
Yes, it's anywhere from 18 and up.
Okay, so if I was to say that your work was important in exposing Greek myths to a new, broader, younger audience, would you agree with that?
Absolutely, because you want to reach more people, because Greek myths are actually timeless. They have lived on for thousands of years, and we're still retelling them. Lots of authors love them, and you only need to Google on Amazon and you'll see how many authors are actually using myths in their stories or retelling.
As an author, how difficult was it to come to this successful point? Okay, you've got 4 novels behind you, you're writing your 5th, but to get to this point, how difficult was it, and what were some of the challenges that you faced?
Okay, rejection is one of the first things you face when you start writing and pitching to publishing houses. You've got to be a bit thick-skinned because you will get rejections. Not everyone gets that UBU deal first go. I chose the self-publishing path because I felt I had more control. I had more control over my covers, more control over my timeline, which can get hectic sometimes. Greek background, Greek parents, the demands are very different.
So what advice would you give to young aspiring writers?
I would tell them hook up to as many authors as you can. We're all very giving with our knowledge. We like to help other authors, so definitely, and if you ever want any advice, look me up. I'm happy to help. And I would say save your money for some good editing because you'll need it. That counts.
Okay, so you've published the first book of the Willow Witch Chronicles, One Wolf Next Door. That was last year. What's next for EFTHALIA?
Next is book 2, Two Times the Curse, and 3 Ways to Die after that one. And then hopefully after that, fingers crossed, we might bring a historical figure, Greek historical figure, to life.
Oh, that's exciting.
I can't say too much.
That sounds exciting, but...
It does. I'm very excited for that one, actually.
So, lastly, EFTHALIA, where can people purchase your books?
Everywhere online, and if you really want a print copy, you can order it from Dimmicks. I'll bring it in. But even better, you can order direct from me, both ebook and print. And if you order a print copy, not only do you get it signed, but you get some book swag as well.
EFTHALIA, thank you very much for your time. All the very best with the new book, the writing of it, and all the very best for your future endeavours. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.